UWI Speaks, UWI Speaks, UWI Speaks, UWI Speaks.
Hey viewers, welcome to UWI Speaks. Yes, where your voices are heard. This is the channel where the voice of the students at the University of the West Indies Mona campus are heard. And this is episode 2. We'll be talking about culture, entertainment and creativity in the COVID-19 era. This is indeed an interesting topic. We're going to look at the different aspects of culture, entertainment and creativity.
UWI Speaks, yes, we are the host, a 10 out of 10, full of vibes, full of chat. Go and go tell your friend, have content lock. Pan we can depend, UWI Speaks, yeah. Here where we have to say, UWI Speaks, yeah. Here where we have to say,
So join us today, we'll have Mr. Jovan Bailey, who is the CAC, Cultural and Entertainment Affairs Chairperson from the Guild of Students, to talk to us just a little bit about what the CAC portfolio has been doing to engage the students as it relates to entertainment and culture. Then we'll have two creatives who are freshers from humanities and education to talk to us a little bit about what they've been doing. We'll have Savannah McDonald, and she will be talking to us based on her poetic writing and being a creative director. Then we'll have Mr. Giovanni Lewin, who will be talking to us about his poetry, and also, just a fun fact, he's also a singer. So just look forward for all of that as we continue with UWI Speaks. So we'll be right back with those. Alright viewers, as I told you before, we have a couple of guests coming on today. This is UWI Speaks. I'm your host, Sandra Roden, and we have a special guest. He's a member of the guild. He's the one that plans the events, notably parties and other events. And they have a name for it, I can't too pronounce it myself. But what's it?
The Guild God.
I don't know you young people say it, but the Guild God, or whatever it is you say. But I have none other than Mr. Jovan Bailey. Welcome, Mr. Bailey.
Thank you for the invite.
Well, he is the CEAC. I don't know if you know what the CEAC is, but he's going to tell you what that abbreviation means. And he's going to tell you what the job of the CEAC is.
Well, the acronym CEAC stands for Cultural and Entertainment Affairs Chairperson. So my portfolio role is basically to lead the university into an era of entertainment and cultural joy for students. So a part of this, we have our regular Integration Thursday series, which is a major staple event for university students. Before I even came to you, I always heard about Integration Thursday, somewhere where students go after their busy Thursdays to unwind and enjoy the activities of the day.
Interesting. But I know that it's a bit different now, Mr. Bailey, because it's COVID. You don't have that physical space again. Kind of throw off your events. What have you been doing as the CAC to mitigate the fact that COVID is here, students aren't really on campus again? What have you been doing?
With the whole COVID-19 pandemic and the atmosphere of the university itself, much physical events aren't able to come to fruition. So what we have tried to do is to engage our students in the online and the virtual realm. We have seen a real and big upsurge in the amount of online events that have been taking place over the pandemic season, a couple months. So something that the CAC team has been doing, we have engaged many sponsors, even like Clearstone, to have a physical venue off campus where we host our integration events. And this is a live setup that we use to stream on Instagram and also YouTube to reach our many students. So that is one way we have tried to keep our students engaged. Through that avenue, we also added major external entities and partners that students are associated with, like Big Par, Saturday, and other major DJs and other entities that actually have some gravitational pull for our students. So that is what we've been trying to do. Yeah.
Interesting. So if there was no pandemic though, what events did you have in mind? Because I know you probably had a whole plan going into the portfolio. So no pandemic where you have to put everything online. What events you had in mind?
Well, the CSC portfolio had a major plan going into the academic semester. We would have started off with our Freshers Weekend, which is our offspring of Freshers, the Freshers events basically, where we encompass and join a plethora of events, like 4 events, and name that the weekend. So students would get a feel of other Caribbean islands, their soca music and other cultures, and we'd have the reggae dancehall feel. And we'd also have a corporate mingle type of setting, and also even a brunch for the students. So that was the initial idea for Freshers. Moving on from that, we'd have Soho. Usually Soho is that brunch breakfast event for the UMONA campus that gives students that opportunity to have some dress up, as most students would say, and go out and enjoy themselves, rather than the regular going to integration or going off campus to some other party. It would be something more formal, semi-formal for our students to enjoy. Other than that, we'll have the Miss UWI pageant starting, the application starting, but the pandemic has also halted that for our students. Other than that, we have continued with our regular integration series. It would have been mostly have the same format and ideas, but would have an extra swing to it with more DJs, more artists, and many external persons actually engage in the campus, because that is one of the things that as a committee we saw necessary to create that pool for integration this academic year.
Right, so I understand basically saying that COVID impacted all the plans that you really had. So what exactly are you doing what plans have you put in place to mitigate and to just maintain the quality of these events, even though online, and how it is you move forward as it relates to engaging students for these events?
Okay, so if we can take for example our integration series this year, our IntiLive, as most persons are giving it that name. We have tried to remain most of the aspects or the visual aspect of the event itself, because usually going to a physical event, physical integration, it's all about the setup. Persons want to see what is happening, they want to see that feel, that energy that integration gives them, that trusting, that light, that stage setup, the VIP, everything, it adds to it. So what we have done this semester is that we have engaged a company, ClearSound, in creating a space where we can have that same visual aspect through an online setting. Most times person will just put up a phone in a room with a backdrop and that's it. We went the whole 9 yards, 9 miles actually, and had the pyrotechnics, we had LED screens, we had dancers, we had different color lights, we had a whole background, we had a stage setup. So we did actually a lot for integration to give it that visual aspect, and we hoped, and it actually proved beneficial, that engaged and held the attention of our students through that entire set of activities that we had. Other than that, we'll just try to increase our social media reach, our social media appeal, and create more initiatives and activities that have that pull.
Interesting. So my final question to you, Mr. CAC Gilgad, Mr. Jovan Bailey, is what will you continue to do as CAC to benefit the students as you look on to end out this tenure in this portfolio?
Okay, so for second semester we will only have 3 integration series planned. So moving away from that series, our entertainment director Annika Wright is even engaging to see how best we can have an event production workshop and seminar for our students. Because in first semester we tried to focus more on having them entertain, but now we're trying to move away, or not really move away from our centered activities, but to have some additional appeal and interest for our students. So we have the event production workshop seminar happening. For the Miss UWI pageant, it probably won't happen in its natural form this year based on the pandemic, and that was the reason it was cancelled last year. So what we're trying to do is we're creating a women's leadership Miss UWI workshop seminar for them, where we do team building, women's rights activists speak on certain issues and so affecting women, and seeing how best we can uplift and benefit most of the young ladies on the UWI campus. So that's one of the things that we're trying to engage in for the upcoming semester.
Right. Thank you so much. That was Mr. Jovan Bailey, the CAC, the so-called Gilgad, the one who has been keeping your entertainment going. Even though you are mostly at home, you still have that online space for virtual entertainment, and that's something I know that you guys all enjoy, and this is the man that's behind it. So thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Bailey. Alright, you're here with us on UWI Speaks, and we're talking about the arts, and we're going in the Faculty of Humanities on Education, of course, and we have with us Savannah McDonald. Hi Savannah, welcome.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Well, Savannah, you are a UWI student, but you're not just a UWI student, you're interested in writing. Tell us, what sparked your interest in writing? When did it all begin?
Well, really, I started writing because it was therapeutic for me. So I started journaling, writing song lyrics to myself, writing down lessons and stuff, and then I eventually delved into poetry. I like to express myself through poetry. It's my favorite genre of writing. And then from there, I just started to branch out into different genres of writing. Now I write on the editorial team for my faculty's bulletin called HumEdu Today.
Okay, so you're saying that you are adding to the university space through your writing, you can say that actively?
Yes, I would say that.
Okay. And you're a part of the Humanities and Education Committee, and that's how you become a part of this writing?
Yes, that's how I became a part of writing at UWI.
Interesting. So, you're a writer. you know, as I say, it's therapeutic. How has it helped you psychologically as it relates to your mental health? Because you can put all your thoughts on pages. How has it helped you?
Well, really, writing really helped me in terms of coping with my feelings. I didn't think I had someone to vent to years ago. So I used to just write down what I'm feeling, and it really helped me to be more expressive. I used to be way more shy than I am now, and it just gave me an avenue to just let out everything before I actually got professional help.
So, do you allow others to read your writing?
As in the writing for therapeutic purposes, I don't. It's like something that I look back at to reflect on. Yeah.
So what about your writing for human?
Yeah, so my writing for humanities, even though it's a bulletin really for humanities students, it's not limited to them. So anyone can read it. SoSci, SciTech, anyone. Because it's not limited. The content itself, it's not just humanities-based content.
Okay. So how do you think that you're writing, based on your experiences, because a writer normally pours some of themselves on the page.
Yes.
How do you think that your writing can help other young people, other students, as they want to empower themselves, they want to become better, they want to have their own type of therapy? How do you think it can help them through your writing?
Okay, so in my writing and also in other things that I create aside from writing, I like to tell a story. So I like to get personal with it because persons like to know that you're a human. You're not just writing for writing's sake because you have to do it and you have this position. So I like to add a humanistic approach to it where I kind of insert myself. So I'm not just giving a general general information about stuff. I'm telling them, you know, my experience with it, and from my experience how I coped with this, or how I am dealing with it, or how I overcame it.
Wow, thank you so much. Viewers. Wow, this is Savannah McDonald. She's a writer. She probably inspired me a little bit. Yeah, but we're grateful for having you here with us, Savannah.
Thank you.
And I'm sure our viewers really enjoyed hearing from you. And this is UWI Speaks. We'd like to thank Savannah McDonald again, and we're just going to continue on with the program. Hey viewers, welcome back. It's UWI Speaks and I'm your host Sandra Roden. We're still looking at the cultural aspect of the university, and we're still in the Faculty of Humanities and Education. Now we're looking a bit at poetry, and we have a special guest. His name is Mr. Giovanni Lewin.
Pleasure to be here.
Yes, I actually know Mr. Giovanni Lewin. I know him from high school actually, and he has delved into the poetic arts, if I'm not mistaken. So it's COVID-19, a lot of people are at home. It's a different experience, you know. They keep on saying stay at home. You probably feel so insulated sometimes. How has poetry helped you, and how do you think it can help others?
Well, poetry has been an escape for me. Ever since I was a child, I wrote about my experiences, my feelings. I always tried to, you know, project these things onto paper. And throughout the pandemic, it's been a sort of therapeutic release, a form of escapism for myself, so that I can just empty my thoughts onto paper and get rid of all those negative things that would cloud my thinking,
right,
and my psyche, you know?
Yeah. So how can it help others?
Well, I always refer people to poetry when it comes on to, you know, just letting it all out. If you don't want to invest your feelings into a person, invest it onto paper. You know, just being able to put it out there some way, somehow, is therapeutic enough sometimes. So interesting. I know right now a lot of people have mental health issues, and it's brought to the fore when you're kind of secluded. You don't have that community as you did before. So how do you think the creative industries and the creative arts can help as it relates to alleviating that type of mental depression, especially in this pandemic period? Okay, so we've seen since Corona began that the creative industry has seen a boom, and it's because creativity sparks a certain semblance with who you are as a person, your feelings, your mental state. It's affected widely due to the creative aspect of your person, right? So if you realize people have started to do more TikToks, they've started to watch YouTube channels more, they've started to create their own content, because guess what? This is you relieving yourself of negative emotions, negative feelings of seclusion, feelings of isolation. It's a way for us to connect in a different and more transformative way. So I think due to the creative industry, we've been able to bridge gaps that we never realized were there before. So maybe the pandemic was good for some reason.
I get where you're coming from, but you don't only do poetry. Well, from I know that you're a singer. So what has your singing talent done in this period? You know, do you motivate others through your singing? Do you bring any type of upliftment? You know, like a Tessanchin? I don't know. What do you do?
Well, yes, I sing. I don't do it much nowadays, but when it comes on to motivating others, my go-to draw for is singing. People connect to the vocal aspect of, you know, my person. I always try to bring a tune here and there, you know, spice up the environment, make it a little less tense. You know, singing does that for people. You know, you can sit down, you listen to music, you listen to your Chronics and your Bob Marley here and there, you know. So this is how I see it. You sing, you bring positive energy, you give good vibes, and that is enough motivation for a lot of people.
Interesting. My final question to you though is, how can you use the creative arts, your specific talents, to benefit the students at the University of the West Indies?
Alright, so I believe that the same way how others were able to, during the pandemic, find these creative aspects of themselves and, you know, provide some sort of escape for not only themselves but others around them, it's the same way that we can do it here on campus in the university spectrum. So I think that we need to give more credit to not only ourselves but others who are delving into the creative arts, those who are writing poetry for us. I think you had Savannah on before. She writes for the HUMED. You know, just looking at these articles, looking at these columns, delving into these different aspects of our creative selves.
Right.
We need to look at more avenues for that, so that we don't only look at ourselves and say that we're alone and we're not on campus and we're not, you know, socializing the way we used to. Find a different way to socialize. Find the creative arts. Delve into them. Find your creative aspect and your creative self.
Right. Thank you so much. And viewers, you heard it. He is poet, singer. You know, he does it all. He's interested in the creative industries, and that's what we offer here at the University of the West Indies in the Faculty of Humanities and Education. That was Mr. Giovanni Lewin. Thank you for joining us, Giovanni.
It was a pleasure being here.
All right, and we'll be right back with more from UWI Speaks. Welcome back. This is UWI Speaks, and I'm still here with you. I'm Sandra Roden, and we have gone through a lot for today. But before I wrap up, I have to give you a stay in the know fact. Did you know that the first festival song competition in Jamaica was staged in 1966? Guess what? The first winners were the Maytals, and they won with the song Bam Bam. You know that song? I never know that, so I hope that you get that little nugget of knowledge and just keep it. 1966, the Maytals, Bam Bam. That's your stay in the know fact. Thank you for tuning in with us yet another week. We appreciate you, and we're doing this just for you so that you can hear the voices of your colleagues and see what's happening even though we're in a pandemic. So keep sharing, keep liking, keep subscribing, and thank you for joining us. I'm Sandra Roden, and we're out.
UWI Speaks, yes, we are the host, a 10 out of 10, full of vibes, full of chat. Go and go tell your friend, have content lock. Pan we can depend, UWI Speaks, yeah. Here where we have to say, UWI Speaks, yeah. Here where we have to say,